So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mahla. It's a
Good
pleasure
morning.
to to meet with you today, even if it was online. But it's a great opportunity to meet with you, to talk to you about your current and previous projects, and maybe, hopefully, talk about good things to come. Mahla is joining from across the world today, and I'm joining in from Paris. So, good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Mahla, how are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Actually, it's a pleasure. I'm really like glad that I had this opportunity to talk about what I'm doing actually. And thank you for your time adjustments because I know it's super early in Paris, and I get it that it's a bit of a difference, and I'm glad that you made it. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure, Mahla. So let's kick off with a quick introduction about yourself. Who are you? What you are doing right now? And how did we come across that point in time where we're going to be talking about pop-ups?
Yeah, sure. So a quick introduction about me. So my name is Mala, and I studied architecture for my bachelor degree, and then I continued my studies in Paris for marketing and luxury business, fashion and luxury business in Soup de Luxe, and then I had the opportunity to think about more about luxury, about fashion. I was always interested in art, but that was the point where I got the chance to actually dig deeper into it. And like within my work experience, because while I was like studying, I had to take an internship, so I was working with Hermes, and so it was actually a great opportunity for me to learn more and to understand what I want to do for my future. And while I was studying, I got like a really deep understanding about fashion, about pop-ups. I had a class with you, which was really actually like helping me so much, and I already like used a lot of tips from that. I hope I'm doing it right. If you're satisfied with that, but I had a lot of professors who actually helped me through this way, and I was thinking, okay, I have the experience, I have the knowledge, so why not make something good out of it? Then I had the idea of the pop-up. I was actually doing, meanwhile I was studying, I actually have my jewelry brand, which I make accessories. I started working on that on, I think, 2020, if I'm not mistaken. I started working with jewels. I wanted to I always had this passion to combine my Persian culture with my studies, with my life experiences, and like make a bridge out of it. So I started working on jewelries using like the crystals, like from chandeliers, from old chandeliers, from my grandpa's antique store. So I was thinking to bring them back to life, like a sustainable kind of idea. So everything from the packaging to design, everything is sustainable. And like I wanted to tell a story, I wanted to be unique. So I tried to tell the story of what I'm doing and where I come from, but in a more contemporary way.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, I was doing that. I was like, okay, now I have the opportunity to showcase my work in Paris, which is like the land of fashion and art and luxury. Why not try to actually showcase other designers too? Like, in Iran, I have a lot of good friends who are like really talented, who are all artists, who are all fashion designers. Like, I am surrounded with all these talented people. So I was like, okay, why not? Now that I have the opportunity to do that, why not showcase their work along with mine?
Mhm.
So this is where I started the whole idea of the pop-up and like doing it in Paris. That's where the spark began.
Yeah.
And voila, we can talk about it later if you want, if you have any questions.
Perfect. It's a beautiful story. And come to think about it, the need of putting forward your brand was essential, but then reinforcing it with other people who join in or maybe share the same quality of work. Artistic products or culturally related products was also a nice initiative to think about. I believe that first step for any entrepreneur would be like getting as much help as we want or support to just like take and put that brand out there. So okay, Paris, arts, culture, luxury, and you started thinking about doing your first pop-up. I mean, everyone has maybe a misconception. I don't know if it's a conception or a misconception that starting a pop-up store is an easy thing, right?
It's not.
Okay,
I thought the same thing.
we all thought so too, right? But it was a hassle. How did you start planning and thinking about the pop-up store? Actually, where did you start looking at first?
So the whole idea came from the time like I was okay. So I had the idea, I had the passion. Now I need to make it work. Like it needs a lot of effort and it needs a lot of planning and a team actually. So I was like, okay, now I have the passion. First things first, I need to go and search for like pop-up stores that are happening in Paris and like study like what they're doing. So I started going to Marais, like it's the best place for pop-ups and like contemporary art and like where fashion divas go for like finding fashion items and iconic pieces. So I had like a tour of like a month, I guess, or a month and a half in Saint Germain and in Marais to see like what's happening, what is the whole concept, and studying about it actually because okay, I used to do planning and events before, but this was a whole different idea. I was working and planning for brands which were already well known. So how we're supposed to start with brands which are not really like okay, they're well known in Iran, but this is a new market for them. So how am I supposed to demonstrate and every like showcase everything in the best possible way? So I started like walking around, studying, taking notes, talking to people who are actually expert in this and getting some advice. Then looking for a location. Location is the key. And it's one of the hardest parts because like in Paris, everything is fully booked from 1 year ahead. Like
Yes.
all the stores are so fully booked. So I started looking around. I was lucky that I found this place and I found this company that actually like do pop-ups and stuff. So I got their help and I had like some contacts with them. And then I found the location. Okay, now I had the location. Now I needed to talk to my designers and think about the financial part of point of view, like okay, I need to this, like how like things are actually kind of expensive in Paris, especially location is one of the most expensive part of the pop-up, in my opinion, like
Mm-hmm.
from the
Mm-hmm.
experience that I have. So I was thinking like planning it financially, and I was thinking that okay, this is the first pop-up that I want to do. People know me, but they might not trust me enough because this is my first experience. Like, how are they supposed to like trust me with this? Which way they don't know like what I'm gonna do with it.
Right.
So I was started thinking that okay, my passion is to support designers, art, culture, especially women. Like I wanted to empower women as well. Like it was a key point for me too. So I started thinking that okay, I can finance this pop up myself for the first time and like just to give my passion and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I started financing and planning the whole thing, and then I contacted designers that I thought they would match my collection. So I started curating some pieces from them. The first couple, we actually had some home decor, jewelry, uh, home accessories, not much clothing, but a bit of it. It was more like a showroom kind of because like I started picking up pieces
Mm-hmm.
which were really like iconic, and I wanted to be different from the things you see in Paris because okay, at the end of the day, Paris is the city of fashion. There are like so many designers, so many brands, and you can't compete with them. Like that's the truth. So you need to have a piece which actually has something to say,
Right.
has a story behind. So the curation part was my favorite and is my favorite still, but it's one of the hardest part because you need to like I wanted not to just sell their products. I wanted
Mm,
to tell their story and like try to find a potential market for them.
yeah.
Like my whole aim for this project, I was telling my designers afterwards as well. I was like, okay, if you want your items to be sold, maybe I'm not the person for it because I don't have a concept store. And within a week, how many people are they going to pass and they're going to be like end customers to buy your pieces? And these are actually really different and unique pieces. So they're like new to this market. So people are not really easy with like when they see it, like, okay, how am I supposed to wear this? How am I supposed to match this? It's different from their taste. So the thing I could do is just to promise that I will tell their story.
Yeah.
I will tell about their product. I will tell about their brand. I will tell about designer, because we have a lot of like talented people, but they just don't get the chance to show their talent and show their products actually. So I put my focus not on the sales part, but more on the storytelling. Then I started doing that, and then we had to run the website because, okay, it was a new project, so we needed to start with the website, with the Instagram, doing the marketing field, and doing like the photo shooting. So like, okay, I started with one thing, but it led to another. That's why I'm telling you, pop-up thing when they say
Are
it's easy, it's
crazy.
not easy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's just a lot of things that you need to handle, especially that their products are not currently in Paris. So I needed to manage the whole shipping coming from there to here. So that was actually a kind of a hustle too, but we managed to do it.
So if we can think about this first pop-up, it was actually a vessel, a communications vessel. The objective behind it is, as you said, presenting a concept, telling a story, something new or different that does not exist on the market and might be a first for these brands to just enter the market somehow. And everything that you listed earlier from the website, from the social media pages, from the photos is not only a hassle, but the thing is the return on that investment. Because on top of everything that you have put, you have extra costs, and then you have a little week or maybe a little less number of days to have some return on that investment. So in the case of the pop-up stores, your first objective was not to sell, but how did you measure or how did you manage to measure the success of your pop-up store?
Okay, so we actually had some sales. It's not that we didn't have the sales, but it was not our objectives. We managed to sell a lot of products. But the thing is, what brought me the best, like what was the success for me at the beginning, it was that I got lots of reviews from my professors, which were experts in that field, especially you two. And I got really professional help, and I had like professional advice from the people who are expert in this. So they told me, okay, Mala, this is what you did wrong. This is something that you need to improve. This is the best thing you can do. So I got really good advice and good feedback. Like actually, it was my first experience, but I actually got a huge great feedback from professional people. And it was actually a great chance for me to like improve myself, work on my weak points, and try to like develop them and improve them. The second biggest thing is that there was a big hit within the Instagram saying that there were so many designers contacting me afterwards saying that we saw your pop-up and it was a huge success and we want to be a part of your community. So that was actually something which was really, yeah, it drew attention, and it was shocking for me because like I used to get like even on my private page, I used to have like screenshots of the windows, okay, saying, Mala, is that you? I'm like, how do you know what I'm doing in Paris? Because like we didn't post much and like it was like kind of situation. So it was actually great. It was satisfying for me that people actually, they like from the community that I know, like within the artists and fashion designers, they know that the first person who did stuff in Paris about fashion with Persian culture is Mala. So this is actually like a good thing for me, and people like it drew attention and it drew actually some trust because okay, they trusted me, they knew that what I'm doing, and I tried not to do it with like a basic kind of stuff. I was like, okay, if you want to do something big, maybe this was a mistake, but it had a good ending. So I actually believe that if you want to do something big, you can't start with basics. You know, like you can't serve something basic and actually like what you call it, expect something big in return. Okay, so I try to do it within my knowledge. I'm not saying I'm the expert in this, but within my knowledge, I try to do the best level of everything, from the catering to the showcasing, through the merchandising, through the photo shooting. I try to have the best models, best photographs, best photos, best marketing team, best website. You know, I tried my best to do put like all my effort into it, because it's not just like a business for me that I would say, okay, I'm earning money from this, but it's just like passion project for me. So it's really important, and I'm putting my name on it. So it's actually like more important
It's your
because
signature.
it's kind of my reputation.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's my reputation, so I don't want to ruin that. So I tried my best, and I think it was actually a great success. And like, you know, I built a really good community. So many people came, and we built a really good CRM as well. Like, so we have a good customer base list with journalists, with not only like people who just they're walk-ins, and like the people who are just visitors from the like from the street or like exactly. I had lots of fashion, like people coming from fashion industry who are experts in that. We had a lot of journalists coming in. We had a lot of bloggers, you know, like, so we actually had a really good customer database, which we use it for our second pop-up, which was like a way more success than the first one. So this was like a really good thing for me. And okay, at the end of the day, I learned my errors, and this is how we measured it. And you know, like for example, if you want to compare it to the first, second one, if you want to compare like even Instagram statistics, like like
the
dashboard,
insights.
dashboard, the insights, the impressions, the reach, it was drastically improving. You know, like I had like maybe 78K impressions on the day of cocktail party on the second. So like we built the first one, we built like a fundamentals. We built the basics, we built the foundation for that. And now we have this thing for it to like build it more and more and just to improve the surrounding of it. Yeah, exactly.
And Mahla, what was the duration between the first and second pop-up? I believe that also helped in a way or another, because people kept the stories, the knowledge, the info about the first pop-up, and then comes the second. So what was the time difference between the first and the second pop-up?
Okay, so the first one we did in November actually. So it was before Christmas and all the holidays and stuff. So we did it in November, but the second one we did it in February. So almost like 4 or 5 months between them. So people didn't forget about us yet. But at the same time, it was like a gap. So they could just like, they would open up to new designers and new things. And even like, so we actually, for the November part, we had like a fall winter actually collection. And for February, we had a spring collection. So even the season changed for the collections. So it was easier for people to buy from us. The second one, actually, we celebrated spring because even our theme, even our windows, they had like flower blossoms. Because in our culture, next week is our New Year, actually Persian New Year, where we celebrate the beginning of spring. So we wanted to be symbolic. So we were like showcasing stuff in like more a springy mood kind of.
Okay.
And we also had like a decoration of the New Year's arrangement, and we wanted to tell the story of what happens within the culture, within the celebration and stuff. So this was the gap between it. So in February, between February and November.
And did you go back to the same location that you popped in before, or did you change location?
Actually, we actually went back to the first place that we had, because you know, in Mara, there are a lot of stores that you can actually like rent or like do pop-ups. But this one, which is my favorite because it's actually a huge space. It has big windows. I care about windows because I think that if you're not a well-known brand and if you don't have like a brand saying that, okay, this is, imagine like, okay, Maj, Sandro, quelque chose comme ça. If you don't have something with a name, you need to show something from out, like people were passing. You need to show them the inside. So I needed the windows. I needed the windows for like telling our story. We have a slogan, actually, like we created this slogan saying where Persia meets Paris.
Yes.
So we put that in all our, and it draws attention, saying that, okay, this is a Persian art, like this is, let's see, this is something different.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It attracts, it intrigues actually customers to go in. And if I might ask, what happened or what changed in terms of interior? With the first pop-up store, you've invested alone in getting the space. And the second pop-up, maybe calculations changed. Did you rethink the model with designers? Did you have at this point a confidence for asking designers to share the cost of the space? And then if this happened, how much did you invest in the interiors arrangements? I mean, like, did you change the type of furniture or displaying material, or what changed on the interiors level from pop-up 1 to pop-up 2?
Yeah, sure. So for the second one, because the cost of the first one was actually really huge, and I financed it myself, so I was thinking, okay, the second one, we can't continue like that, because okay, I have a passion, but at the same time I have a team, and I need to I need to finance them too. Like, okay, they would say, okay, Mala, this is your
We
passion,
like
but
you,
it's not
not
ours.
ours.
We like you, but
Exactly.
exactly, we like you, but we need to be paid. So I talked to my designers, and like, thanks to them, like, I really appreciate their support and their trust within me, because they supported me throughout, from the beginning, the first day till the last day, until now. I have good relations with them. And my great goal is not just to have a pop-up and voila, it's over. I want to have a long-term relationship with my designers, and I need everyone to be happy. I think it's a win-win. I need to be happy. They need to be satisfied. So, like, I try to arrange it in a way that makes everyone happy. Okay. So for the second pop-up, we actually charged the designers an entrance fee for a package, which was the package was including photo shooting, shipments from Iran to Paris, and the whole cocktail party, because we always threw two cocktail parties, one at the beginning and one at the end. We actually charge them for the photo shooting, for the marketing purposes, for the influencers, for the website. This is the whole package thingy. And the interior, the merchandising, and the content we use to give them every day. And the thing is, we have a website. So the designers can choose, like, if they want to just participate within the pop-up, or they want to keep their inventory in Paris and continue selling it through our website.
Okay,
So we
interesting.
actually give them this chance too. Yeah. So we have like a 6 month, what do you call it, 6 month plan. So they can subscribe to our website. We sell their products on the website for until 6 months, and we give them professional photos of the shooting of 4 or 5 looks, if I'm not mistaken. And well, this is the whole package. So this is how we did it, and I think it was convenient for me, and it was convenient for them
For them,
too.
exactly.
But yeah, because like, okay, they're getting like photo shoots in Paris, and they're getting all their products shipped, and they're actually being introduced. I told them, I promise you that I would tell your story, and I would let every customer that came to our boutique, came to our shop, we introduced you were there for the first time. You
Yes.
saw how we did it.
Yes.
I put myself into it. I put my team into it, because this is like what I want.
Yeah.
I tell their story. I tell about their brand, their product, the material, the designer herself. I introduce everything. So maybe at the end of the day, they will be known by a new market, by a French market. And surprisingly, I have a a small Persian community in Paris, so I don't know much Iranians in Paris, which is surprising. But most of our customers are foreigners, like they're either French or they're tourists.
Right.
So actually, this was my goal. My goal is not to sell their products to Persian people. They can sell it in their own country. My goal, my aim is to sell their product and to show their product
A
to
new
a
market.
community which is not here, a new market, exactly.
Exactly.
And we had like a really good database, like a customer database from the first pop-up and from the community that I am in. So I have like working experience in Paris. I know a lot of the designers, a lot of people who are in high-end fashion industry. So we invited everyone, and this was like a really great success. And we had really good impressions in Instagram. We had lots of website visits. It was actually a great hit for us, and I'm actually happy. I hope my designers are happy too with the
They
results.
should.
But but I think it's a good thing. And the whole concept is that we improved the merchandising in this one because okay, we got some financial help from the designers too. So for the first one, we had less products actually, so it was easier to merch them around. I like to put them around. But for the second one, because we had like clothing, lots of jewelry, lots of shoes, so we needed a
The
better
management
arrangement.
has to be different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like the jewelry display, so we had lots of designers who are jewelry designers, and we needed to like display this in a really nice way to show their uniqueness. Like I think one of the most important thing about showing a product is how you present it. So we needed to present it in a professional way. So we actually improved the interior, we improved our merchandising team, we changed the photograph. I think we changed the photograph as well. And the whole theme, we actually got help from a professional stylist for it. I do styling, but I'm an expert in men's ready to wear, not in women's ready to wear. So I was thinking that okay, I need professional help from a professional person, so we hired people who could help us professionally. So I think this was an improvement for the second one. And we had like the cocktail party was a huge success. We had lots of influencers coming in talking about us, and the sales rate actually increased from the first one, of course. And the fact that we were at the same spot was kind of a benefit for us. Why?
Yeah.
Because we had people from the same neighborhood, like area, that they passed and they saw Lusha, like our brand, and they said we're Persian Meets Paris. And she came inside, and like the people, they're like, oh, Mala, you did it once more, because they were passing by and it's like the place where they see pop-ups again. So they saw our name and they came back for it. And it was actually a really nice gesture for me, because we knew the place, we knew how we should arrange the things within the boutique. Like I knew the plan perfectly, I have it in my mind.
Yes.
And I know how we arrangement could be better. Like what is the best window, what is the least window. So how to design the windows, how to put focus on which part of the boutique. So it was actually a good success for that. And the customers coming in, the people from the area, it was a good thing too. So they knew us, they came back. Exactly.
Very interesting. And is there a plan or potential plan for a third pop-up? Like coming to think about it, would that be actually a plan, or would you think after testing the market with this concept, with these designers, you'd better move on into a physical location or a more permanent physical location? I mean, what would be your feeling and thoughts at this point?
Okay, there is this part that I think, there is this part that people expect me to do, okay?
Which is?
Personally, I really love the pop-up idea. I don't want it to be permanent because I don't want it to have this feeling of a concept store, like when it's a concept store, it becomes dull. Okay, we can't change the decor every week. We can't change the whole arrangement every week. But this way, people are excited to come to see a new kind of designers, new creation, and new pieces, okay? And I don't want to, like, I'm not a person, like, I work as a stylist, I work as a marketing person, so I don't have the time to have it permanent, to
Mm-hmm.
have a store. And it brings a lot of troubles, okay? Like having a store, it's a
It's a
big
hassle.
hustle.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. But people like designers are really like telling me why not having like a permanent place, okay? They're telling me why not. But I'm not, for me, meanwhile, I'm not planning to, because okay, I travel a lot and it's hard for me to manage the things if I'm not there. That's why it's easier for me to do like seasonal, or like every once in a while, like to do
Mm-hmm.
pop-ups.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I've been thinking of for the next project, I was thinking of doing it like really soon. And people are like, new designers are coming up to me to ask me to do it soon as well, like a new pop-up like within a month. But I don't think that would be possible. Maybe within the next 2 months, that would be more convenient. But we came to the part where some designers want to do exclusive pop-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Now we had like a group pop-ups, like we had 4 to 5 designers every time where we showcase their work. Some of the designers, they want to launch their products, they want to launch their brand within Paris.
Yeah.
So we're thinking of that too. We didn't have that option before,
Mm-hmm.
but now we have that option, and I think we will have that in within the 2 months, the upcoming 2 months. So a whole pop-up for just one brand to
Right.
showcase their work, to launch
Their
their
entire
product,
collection.
their entire collection, customizing everything within their desire
Mm-hmm.
and within their brand identity,
Mm-hmm.
like within
Mm-hmm.
their brand image. So this is like the coming project that we're thinking of, and we're planning with some designers. And the second one is that we were more focused on fashion and accessories. We are thinking maybe we can do just a pop-up for art, because
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of good artists as
Yeah.
well. For art,
And
and for
furniture.
example, interior,
Yeah.
furniture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love interior.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So we were thinking of these two upcoming plans, and we already talked about it with some designers which are like willing to do it. And I think it would be a great thing, and I think it's the new start for us. And I hope it turns out to be well, because private events would be more convenient, because okay, when we create a collection, when we create different designers, it's so hard to like compensate with all the designers needs, because everyone wants something from you.
Right.
Everyone has a different vibe, for example, some are more traditional, some are more contemporary, some are more modern, and it's a bit hard. It's a little hard to put them all together. But like when it's only one brand, you know what you're doing, you know their identity, and voila, it's over. You can do it. And like the color scheme, the design, everything goes for just one brand. And I think this is like a good thing that we will be doing, and my team is working on it for now. And I think we will have a showroom, not a boutique, but a private showroom in Paris. We have a studio already. So maybe we will do the showroom for the things left within the pop-up and the things we are selling on website,
Right.
for people to like just book appointments for it, not like a shop, but
Yeah.
to a private showroom for with appointments.
Yeah.
So we're thinking of that too, and I hope it turns out to be well. And voila, this is our plan for now.
It will. It's a great idea, actually. It's a great idea and goes into the extension of what you're doing right now. Like the pop-up is a great idea to introduce the brand, but maybe keeping it for a while in a showroom will give people the opportunity to come back, maybe to explore or to think about items, because somehow, and especially in your case, you have chosen qualitative items, items that are not so affordable, we want to say. People have to know the value about them, understand them, appreciate them before maybe making the purchase. So it would be a good opportunity to do a rebound after the pop-ups visit. Wow, Mahla, this
Yeah.
is so exciting. I'm really happy that you have portrayed all of this journey of thinking of a pop-up, developing it, the learning curve, how it happened, and how an entrepreneur such as yourself have thought about the next steps, which is really interesting. Thank you so much for that. Uh,
Thank you so much for your advice and for having me. It's my real
it's a
pleasure,
pleasure.
really.
It's a pleasure. At the end of the day, even if any person gives advice, it's about you and how well you put it and translate it and I mean, put it into effect, as we say. This is all your work, and we have no merit in that. I'm really thank you for your time. Thank you for accepting to do this beautiful interview. Is there any other points that we did not cover and that you would like to highlight?
No, thank you. It's my pleasure. It was perfect. And but okay, honestly, I really need your professional opinion about what I'm doing. Like, I would really like it would be my like I would be glad if you could tell me what like I've been using, helping, getting help from the people who are professional. Okay, I started this, but I'm not a pro in that, and I'm
Mm,
telling this honestly because okay, I can come and say, okay, I'm a pro in that, but if it's the output are not what do you call it, like matching the result,
mm,
so this is not the thing. I want to improve, I want to make it a better thing, I want it to be a bigger platform for many others, like many other people to showcase their work. So I really appreciate whoever gives me advice, and I'm really open to it. Like, I try
exactly.
to learn more every day and to improve what I'm doing.
In the case of that, like interview, what I would only hope to highlight is the fact that today you have a very specific condition. You started from scratch and you're building an identity through these pop-up stores, which will take the time it should take. And once brands or people managing brands understand the learning curve and build on it, they will be definitely going into the right direction. Because as much as we say that you're doing it right or you're doing wrong, it's because we have some inputs or a list of good things to tick when you're doing a pop-up. However, this is not realistic. Even when I'm consulting or giving my opinion, I wouldn't tell you you did it right or didn't wrong because it doesn't match a result or an academic result or another brand that did it. In the case of pop-up stores, I believe that the only message that I would transmit or give to people who are doing what you're doing right now is to have a clear objective and to always evaluate what they have done based on their objective and capabilities. Because Mahla, you don't have the same amount of money that another brand has to capitalize on the pop-up, and you might not have had the same experience, but it is building, so you're going into the right way. It will be a great opportunity for us to discuss it, of course, later on and with a lot of pleasure. Thank you so much for that. And a final word. How can we connect to your website, and on which Facebook or Instagram account can we find you so that all those interested could go and see your works?
Thank you. It's my pleasure. We will talk about it. I would be more than like happy to learn more about what I need to improve and to learn more from you. And you can actually find us on Instagram underscore LOSHAH. It's LESHAH, which is like my family name, which where the whole idea came from. Or you can find us on our website, shahconcept.com. So we
Perfect.
have our store there, and you can see the products on Instagram and on the website. Just contact us, and we'll be happy to serve you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so for this beautiful story and interview, and I hope to see you soon in Paris.
Thank you.
Thank
Hope to
you.
see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.